Do you remember the first time you ordered a pint that actually meant something? When the pub wasn't just a place to drink, it was where friendships were born, stories were told, and the beer had soul. Those days, they're slipping away. Most people today have never even heard of the beers that once defined Britain's heart and heritage. The labels are gone. The breweries closed. The memories fading with every passing year. And if you still remember them, you're part of a rare group keeping a piece of Britain alive. That's why this channel exists, to remember what the world's starting to forget. So before we dive in, hit subscribe because once these memories are gone, there's no bringing them back. Let's start with one that still lives in the hearts of anyone who grew up in the 70s or 80s, Double Diamond. It wasn't just a beer, it was a moment in time. Every advert, every jingle, every pint poured was a reminder of when Britain still had swagger. They called it Works Wonders, and for a while it truly did. You'd see the amber pour under pub lights, laughter echoing, and that sense that life didn't have to be so complicated. Then came Whitbread Trophy, the beer that filled working men's clubs and Sunday football halls. It was bold, smooth, dependable, the kind of pint your dad swore by after a long shift. But like so many others, it vanished when the giants took over and brewing became about profit, not pride. And who could forget Watney's Red Barrel? Loved, mocked, debated, but unforgettable. It was Britain's first big commercial beer, and it carried the taste of a changing nation. From seaside holidays to smoky pubs, it was part of our rhythm, until modern brewing washed it away. These weren't just beers, they were bookmarks in our lives. Every sip was a story, of mates who've moved on, pubs that have closed, and moments we wish we could relive. So as you watch this, take a second to think. How many of these names still ring a bell? Because the more we remember, the more we keep that British spirit alive. This is bringing back memories you thought you'd forgotten. Hit subscribe, leave a comment with your favorite old pint, and let's build a place where nostalgia never runs dry. Now, let's talk about a few points that deserve more than just a footnote in our history books. There was Courage Best Bitter. Simple name, powerful meaning. It wasn't about flash or flavor trends, it was about heart. The kind of beer you'd see in the hands of soldiers home on leave, or fathers watching their sons take their first steps. Courage wasn't just a beer, it was an attitude. You could taste the grit, the pride, the quiet strength of ordinary people who kept Britain standing tall through hard times. Then there was Base Pale Ale, one of the oldest trademarks in the world. That red triangle on the bottle, iconic. It was the pint of poets and travelers, of factory workers and dreamers alike. When you saw that logo behind the bar, you knew you were drinking something that connected generations. But time moved on, and with it, a part of our brewing soul. And what about John Smith's Magnet Ale? Smooth, reliable, unmistakably northern. It carried the sound of laughter, the smell of Sunday roast, and the warmth of home. A pint for people who didn't need fancy labels, just good company. Today the brand still exists, but the real taste, the original recipe, it's long gone. Modern versions wear the name but not the memory. It's strange, isn't it? We call it progress, but somewhere along the way, we lost the character that made our beers and our communities so unmistakably British. If this stirs something in you, even a faint echo of a pub you used to love, then don't just scroll past. Subscribe, share, and comment on the name of a beer you think the world forgot. Because if we don't talk about them, no one will. There's one name that still echoes faintly in the minds of true pub lovers, Tetley's Bitter. You could walk into a pub in Leeds or Sheffield and you'd smell it before you even saw it, that malty, comforting aroma that said you're home. It wasn't glamorous. It wasn't trendy. But it was ours. A beer that carried the accent of the North, the warmth of its people, and the unspoken bond between strangers at the bar. And then there was Boddington's, the cream of Manchester. That golden pint, the soft head, the smooth pour, it was more than just beer, it was a symbol. It stood for working-class pride, for football nights, for music that shaped a generation. When it disappeared, it felt like losing a friend, one we thought would always be there. Finally, we can't forget McEwan's Export, the Scottish gem with a rich body and bolder soul. Its deep caramel notes and proud heritage made it a staple far beyond Edinburgh. You didn't drink McEwan's because it was popular. You drank it because it was honest, dependable, and unapologetically itself. And now, so many of these beers live only in memories, and in the hearts of those who still raise a glass to what they once were. Because here's the truth. We didn't just lose the beers. We lost the feeling, that sense of community, of laughter echoing off wooden walls, of time slowing down long enough for a story or two before last orders. But maybe, we can bring that spirit back. If you've smiled, sighed, or felt even a spark of nostalgia during this video, then you're part of the reason this channel exists. We tell the stories that shaped Britain, the ones the world forgets but the heart remembers. So hit subscribe, share this with a mate who still remembers their first pint, and let's keep the memory of these legendary British beers alive. One story, one sip, one video at a time.